All right, guys. Well, I'm just continuing from where I left off, looking at Sophie Turner here. I started working on something else. I'll, I did this in class. Those of you that were in class this semester, this might span multiple semesters, so I'm just mentioning it. But I started another one. Really wasn't very happy with the actual photograph itself, so I'm going to switch over to something else. So this is live. I've never done this before, so you're seeing me do it the first time. But I started this in class, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't. I like it okay, but the expression, I really hadn't gotten anywhere with this one just yet, so I'm going to ditch it. All right, so here we go. Talk about this process. One of the first things you want to do is you want to take the image you're working with and you want to save it somewhere. You want to have it as a reference, and do everything that I taught you in the last video to kind of prep it. But of course, I'm going to ignore all that. So I'll just make a little folder that I'll move later, and I'll call this the week 1 E, or the week 1 P, week 1 project. And I'll say this is my reference image. Okay, so that's what this guy is. All right. So this isn't really prepared. I didn't take it into Photoshop or anything like that. But like I told you, you don't have to. The first video is really for trying to make your life easier, I suppose. But I guess I like my life to be difficult. So check this out. I need the template now. All right, so I need the template. So let me go grab that. So that's not in the materials folder. That's in the assignments folder. Here it is. Here's the template. I want to make sure I use that. And you know what? I think I'll save it right out here with the week 1 P folder right there. So we'll just call this the, in fact, whatever. Just call it week 1 P. All right, so there we go. Hope you guys don't mind these videos being a little bit longer. I want you to see the whole process. So that's why I'm setting it up this way. Even the mistakes. I hate perfect videos. Because then you're trying to follow along and you're like, wow, this is going perfectly for them, but it's going terribly for me. So, and it also saves me some time too. So I'm going to go to File and Place. Okay, so why am I not seeing Place in here? See, this is stuff they change. You know why I'm not seeing it? They didn't change it. I'm on the guides layer, so I need to be down here on layer 2, which really this is the artwork. So I'll just rename that. Maybe I should change that in the template. Maybe by the time you watch this video, that will have been updated, but we'll see. So I'll go to File and Place, and now that Place shows up there. See? You're learning already. I'm going to pop this in here. I'm actually not 100% sure this image is going to work. I guess if it doesn't work, I'll stop the video. You know, I think that'd probably be the best way to handle it. I'm hoping it works, because I'm ready to take up this whole panel over here. You know, this whole side I'm ready to take up, but I don't want to lose too much. Yeah, this isn't too bad. I'd like to see both dire wolves. I don't care if I lose a little bit of one of them. Yeah, that's not too bad. The more real estate I can get here, the better. Okay, so not bad. I want to get the top of this dire wolf. That's fine. Some of you are like, dire wolf? I don't even know what a dire wolf is. Well, what's the matter with you? Why aren't you watching this show? Actually, we talked about this already, didn't we? Yeah, it didn't end in a way that I liked. But I don't want to spoil it for you. Maybe you'll like it, you know? Okay. So real quick, and I can be sloppy about this, you know. In fact, I'll not be sloppy. Watch this. I'll be detailed on this because I can actually use this. I'm going to slowly go across here. Actually, let me do this. Normally I've got no fill. I'm going to press the / on my keyboard to save myself some time. And then I'll pick out a bright color that has no business, being used with this reference, because it's kind of, dim and depressing looking. Right, here we go. Just cutting around here, and this is really just me capturing her silhouette. Look at, there's hair there I can't even get at. Oh man. You know what? I'm not going to work on that yet. Let me just go straight up here. Let's just get this part, because this should be pretty easy to capture. So this is something, I know we're just focusing on the portrait, but I'm going to get this too. By the way, in case you're watching this video and you're like, Eugene, are you really going to spend hours and hours and hours on this? No, probably not. I'm not going to try to finish everything. I'm just going to try and get you oriented to what it is we're trying to do here. But I can actually use this silhouette to cut things out. Now, I don't teach every single intro class, and I do get students sometimes that don't know how to use what's called the shape builder tool. So this is going to turn into a little bit of a talk on the shape builder tool. I assume that's covered in every single class. I mean, it should be, but and other instructors have the right to not emphasize it as much as I do, because there are other ways to do this stuff. But I just think my way is the best. I think it's the most efficient. It's not really my way, I didn't create it or anything. It's just a tool that seems to work really well. I thought about doing a time lapse of this, but I know you want to hear me talk, right? I mean, that's what you're here for. In case you were wondering, that's a joke. Sort of, though. Sort of a joke, because, watching a time lapse, I could show you some really sweet time lapse videos. You're not going to learn very much. It's kind of interesting, but you don't learn a whole lot. Oh, look at me. I keep wanting to do that. That is not what I wanted to do, though, because I really just want this silhouette. What I'm doing is I'm kind of getting the silhouette of the chair to cut things out. By the way, I break a lot of handles. I hold down Alt and break handles. Another thing that I've started doing only in the past few years that I wish I had just done the whole time is, if you hold down the control key, you can go back and you can adjust things. When you let go of control, you can kind of keep going with what you're doing. See how this is a corner right here? Whenever you go around corners, do this little trick. Like that. Now that's a nice way to do it. I probably had 10 moments where I could have done that before now, and I just didn't because I forget about it. But it's a better way of doing things. I'm definitely adding too many anchors. That's what you do when you're in a hurry. And it's for this this situation's forgiving enough that I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So there we go. So this outline will serve two purposes. That'll make sense in a minute. I'm going to select this and press Control C. And the first purpose it's going to serve, right, is going to be as a clipping mask. So I'm going to make a clipping mask. Oh. So what was that? I'll go ahead and check my layers panel. Okay, it should work. Make clipping mask. There we go. Not sure what happened the first time. Sure a smarter man would know. Now I'm going to press Control F. What that's going to do is give me this guy, so I can pop that on top of there. All right, cool. This is my reference. I'm going to end up just freezing it here in a minute. In fact, I'm not really done yet. So my article is going to be over here. Or if I wanted to, I could move her over here. Like that. And that would work too. I'm just going to delete that for a minute. I like it better over there on the left. You know that? I really do. I think that's kind of cooler. So I'm going to stick with that. I hate to make this thing off center, but that's sort of what I have to do to get her head nice and big. Maybe I will crank that up. I mean, the focus doesn't have to be that dire wolf. Yeah, I'm not losing that much if I go like that. All right. Then I'm going to go all the way with it. We'll lose an entire dire wolf over there. That makes me depressed. And it also means I wasted some time, but whatever. Check this out. To see what this looks like, I'll show you a little trick. I want to press the I key and just select the gray area here. See how that actually works? Isn't that cool? This is also a great way to like create a border around whatever you're working on. So this gives me a sense of, like what this is going to look like. I can do the same thing down here if I really want to see what this is going to look like. Isn't that nice? I get a real sense of it. Obviously my title is going to be over here somewhere. That's like right there, and this is where my article is going to go. There's not a whole lot of space for the article, but whatever. That's where it's going to go. The title of my article is going to have to fit over here. There's not a lot of space for it, but I don't care. I'll make it work. All right, so there we go. All right, so this has some cooler colors. That's going to be a little bit harder to pull off. You'll understand why in a little bit here, but let's go ahead and start collecting our colors. And we don't have to use the colors that are on here either. We can change our minds, but I'll show you how I do it. But first off, I'm going to make one more copy of her like that. See, make this version of her a lot smaller. There's methods, there's reasons for this. And I'll put this in some area that's not hurting anything. Oh, it looks like I did something wrong there. There we go. Shrink that down. And I'll put that somewhere where it really can't hurt anybody. And then I'll take her and I'll take the opacity on her down to like 50% or something like that. There we go. Now it's up to you, but I actually am going to add another layer and then just rename this my reference. And I'll make this my artwork layer. You don't really have to name these layers, but I think it's a good practice. So I'm going to employ it. I'll just unlock this whenever I really need something else. So here we go. I'm looking for some skin tones. So I'll start off there. So what I do is I draw some boxes. And then I will eyedropper face it first to see if I can't find a tone that I like. So to make sure this tone has a red base and not like an orange base or something like that. So and this has a red base, so I'm pretty happy. Okay, that's pretty cool. Then I'll hold down Alt, make a copy. Then I'll double click. And the darker things get, the more saturated they get. So I'm going to pull over here a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to like the way this red is going to turn out, honestly. But I'm going to make an attempt at it, whatever. I have a way I can alter this later if I want to. And I'll switch over to even darker. See? And then we'll go super dark. Super dark and saturated. And if you want to, we can go even crazier, maybe one level deeper. This will essentially be black for this image, but it won't really be black. It'll be a really dark red. Okay, so there we have it. Looking good. These are going to be our skin tones for now. Now for her hair, I'm just thinking about two tones right now. I'm using the eyedropper. I'm going to click up here. And I'm definitely going to increase the reds a little bit, you know. There we go. I'm going to saturate that a little bit more. Okay, so I want to draw myself another box. I'll move this over by her hair so you sort of know what it's supposed to go with. And I'll zoom in a little closer, drag that out, and I'll make this a lighter color. So this will be lighter. And I'll make, that can basically be my base. This direwolf dog thing is definitely going to be 3 colors. I can tell that right away. And I'm not going to eyedrop anything. Just going to go with a dark gray, a medium gray, and a white. That makes logical sense. In fact, I'm just going to go with, I'm not even going to do that. I don't even want 3 tones. I'll just go with a light gray and a dark gray. And that's what's going to make up the crown right there. All right, so her lips are going to be a different color. So I will go ahead and do that now. I will eyedrop the lips. That's a little bit too purpley. Let me take it down, make it a little bit more. Add some red in there. A little better. Obviously, I'll need a lighter tone for that. I really am working off the cooler colors in this image. I'm just kind of embracing them. Then I'll make a nice highlight color. There we go. So that is going to be, we're going to use for her mouth here. Not bad. I'm definitely going to start off focusing on the face, just so you know. All right, so, obviously we got the eye color to deal with. Might as well do that. So I'll just copy one of these. At some point here, it'd probably be a good idea for me to save some of this. Okay. So there's my base eye color. And obviously, we can take that up and make it a lot lighter. There we go. Now, eyes is going to be a whole nother video. We're not going to focus on that in this video. All right, so I'm pretty happy for now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and try and give you a clue what it is I expect you to do on this assignment. Getting everything set up is a big deal. I'm going to hit save now. And as I'm working, I really like to be able to see her face over here. It will guide me a little bit. So what we always need is we need a silhouette to work off of, which is something I already have for the chair, but not for her. That is, I'm going to focus in on her face. So here we go. This will take a minute. I'm going to be a little sloppy for the sake of this video because I'm trying to get things moving, But I suggest you slow down even more than me. I'm not trying to make a masterpiece. I'm really just trying to demonstrate and hoping that it turns out looking okay. You might be somebody who's like, I love using the brush tool or the blob brush or something like that. It saves so much time, Okay, well, how about this? Don't. Not for this stuff. Use it for the more organic stuff, but don't use it for this. For this part of the assignment. You'll just cause problems for yourself. We want to get this right. Huh. This hair. It's funny. Her hairline's a little high. I don't think she's balding or anything, but it's a little high. And I'm trying to make this. I can't really see this. I'm making it up, and there will be points where you'll be doing that. Basically, just sort of making it up. That's okay. We just make do, with the information we have. There we go. The less anchors, the better. That says hold down control, go back here and modify this a little bit. Yeah. And here we are. Back at the beginning. Perfect. Alright, so I press Shift X a whole lot to swap in and out like that. Same thing as pressing this right there. Now I have to figure out what that base color is going to be. And I'm going to make the highlight the base color by using the eyedropper tool. So I pressed I and I'll go grab this and there we go. That's my base color and I'll keep switching that in and out. And now it's time to get some of the main things here so it actually looks like her. So I'm going to try and get the lips here. As you can see, this thing is pixelated. I did pick a subject that is not super duper accommodating. But it's just what I wanted. And I thought, and some of you guys, I figured you'll do the same thing. You probably have, those of you that are choosing actors, that is, you might be like, well, I'm kind of, that's what I want to do. Maybe you don't like your own face or something like that, or you just like the idea of working with an actor better. Just because you didn't choose yourself as a subject doesn't mean you're like that you hate your face. I don't mean to imply that. Right here, I'm pressing Control a lot to get this to work. I can also subtract like this. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if that doesn't work better. That piece there seems unnecessary, so why don't I just delete that? The less anchors, the more perfect, the better right here. Come on, buddy. Give me that. I'm going to scoot that over a little bit. Try to level all this out. You probably can't even see that at home. Let's go ahead and pick out a bright color. There we go. We'll come back and mess with it later. See this curve that's happening right there? It's not happening here, is it? Yeah. These are two different creatures here. Alright, so I'll go up here and I'll adjust that anchor point like that. There we go. Come back in with my white arrow and then I'll break this. Select this, hold this handle, and then hold down Alt and break it. You know what I tried to do? I tried to copy it. Not cool. There we go. Now scoot that in a little bit. All right, so this is me probably overthinking a little bit, but this is just one of those things you want to get right. The mouth. And remember, people aren't perfect. So their faces aren't perfect. All right. She got back from lunch too. Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Pretty happy with that. Now the eyes are a big deal. You want to get those right, those basic shapes. If you guys remember the car project, this is kind of similar. You just want to get the shape right. See how weird that eye was looking right there? You don't want that. You really don't. Not a huge fan of any hard edges either. There we go. That's nice. Good shaped eye right there. Might bring that back a little bit. Hold down the control key to do that. It just allows me to access the white arrow, that's all. Yeah, that's cool. Don't try to reflect the eyeball over here on the other side. That's a bad idea. It won't look right. The eyes are something you have to be really uptight about. Like that's why. And I won't do that in this video. This video is already long enough. Oh, I made a mistake there. I'm trying to round things off a little bit. I really don't want those squared off edges. Just trying to avoid them. But there we go. Got the basic shape of the eye. Kind of tempted to make the stroke thinner than 1 point. I don't love being this close to the subject or working at this. I don't like working at this resolution that well, but there's a reason I am. So I'm not going to bother describing that reason. Okay, the eyebrows, you need that. You go nice and slow around here. This stuff, you want this to look nice. Watch this, I'll come back here, press Control, drag that out. Yeah. I want to round this edge off here. In fact, let me do that one more time. Go like that. Bring this guy back up. Make it around that edge like this. Yeah, like that. Bring this back a little bit. There we go. Now there's kind of like this little turn that goes on right here. This is a little awkward, but no, not a lot. Let's just leave it like that. How's that? I think this could probably go. Yeah, you don't. I didn't need that one. There we go. Bring that up a little bit. All right. Pretty happy with that. All right. I'm not even sure that the eyebrow is really starting yet. When I say starting yet, I'm not sure that that really looks like skin. Looks like I was just making stuff up there. Sometimes you'll find yourself doing that. You'll have, don't trust yourself. Keep looking. All right, let's see if I can't cheat. Transform, reflect. This is not the same as an eyeball, so I'll just press copy. There's my little reflection. I'll drag this back over here. And this eyebrow is a little different than that one. I'll drag just these guys down a little bit. This up. But overall, it's a different shape, but yeah, this is working. This is working. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'll grab this. We'll make this a darker color here. This, I'll pick that base lip color. There we go. Right there. This, I'll pick white for now. I'm definitely not going to be using white, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. We're starting to cook, right? Sorry this is taking so long. You might have skipped through the video to get to this point, but it just takes time. So I'm just taking it with you. How about this hair back here? Let's go ahead and start that. All right, I'm going to go like this. Drag this back. Yeah, I'm getting way too detailed here. Yeah, I'll just draw through this. There we go. Right here, I sort of have to lie a little bit. I'm just going to lie. Whatever. I do not know where the hair ends. And I'm going to cut back behind here like this. Keep working my way around. With this hair, you can completely lie if you want. I mean, no one's gonna know. I mean, they'll know if you lie too much. but you don't have to be super precise. It's not the same as an eyeball or anything like that. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and drop that orange in there. There we go. Now this needs sent to the back, so I'm going to right click, transform, arrange, and send this guy to the back. Okay, then I'm going to press Shift X on this, and now we're really starting to see the basic shape of her. And you're probably like, you're driving me insane. Why are you showing me all this, you know? This is just part of it. You're going to have to do it. Whatever you're working on. I found some students discovering some weird processes for this stuff. I mean, just really working too hard. So hopefully, part of me is just hoping that this is helping you there. Now, that looks weird, so let's do that. Again, I just want a dark color here. I don't really care what the color is. I guess I'll grab something similar to what's happening up here, but I don't really care. It's just a little bit helpful to have some base there, some base color. Actually, it seems like there's a lighter colored base. I'd rather put the darker shades in there, so let's do this. How's that? All right, I'm just gonna stick with that for right now. Make sure and save this. And now we'll get down to some shadows, and hopefully we can finish this video because I'll actually get to demonstrate some stuff to you. So the nose would be a pretty important thing for me to get next, right? But I'll grab the nostrils real quick. We'll make those a really dark color. And then I'm gonna do my best to grab some huge chunks. This is what I call them. This is called mapping, or chunking is another term that I'll use for it. What it is, you're just looking for these large regions to work with to grab the shadows. The shadows are basically what I'm calling maps. So just like on a real map, which has different regions, that's what you're going for. Now I realize that yeah, this is going to look kind of weird. So I'm going to rethink this shape. Going to take it, and I'm actually going to show the whole tip of her nose. I am lying a little bit, which I've already talked to you about, you know, like this is a little bit of an artist's interpretation. The shadows aren't doing exactly what I'm doing, but it's close enough in my humble opinion. There we go. And I'll add a little additional shadow over here. This will help. This side of her face has a deeper shadow, so, you know, this should pass go. It's a small little dark shape. Yeah, not 100% sure about that, but let's grab a big old chunk. We'll start off with the dark colors here, and this is going to be dramatic. I'm just going to be real dramatic with this. So we're going to say that the dark side of her face really kind of starts about here, and that it works itself around like this. And then down here, yeah, I'll do this. I'll work back up and around like that. We're just going to really grab a big chunk over here. Go like that. This will kind of show the roundness of her chin. Work my way back over here and keep that shadow moving all the way over to here. Then I'm going to work my way back. Now I'm going to have a darker line defining the jaw here, but there we go. I'm going to expand that off down into here. Look how big this piece is going to be. It's going to be huge. It really is going to be a big, ginormous shape here. And I'm going to go all the way around here because I'm using her head as a means of that big shape as a means of cutting out the silhouette. And there we go. Shift M for the shape builder tool. There it is. Or just press it. It's right there. Then Alt click. Boom. Just like that. There I am saying boom again. Sorry for those of you that hate it when I say boom. I just got to say it, you know. I can't help myself. All right, so I'm going to send this to the back like that. I know that's going to cause some problems. I'm going to send this to the back. You might be like, how are you sending it to the back? Well, I just press Control Shift and the left bracket rather than using the keystrokes. You know, so let's look at this. We send that to the back. Okay. All right, so starting to get somewhere. How about those highlights? Press Shift X a whole bunch of times to get where I want to go. I mean, are there like super bright highlights, or is this going to work? Actually, this is working, man. This is working for me. So I'm going to start working on the shadows here. This whole section here is really a shadow. It just really is. Her whole eyeball. So I'm just going to go ahead and go do this. Gotta avoid all those corners. They just don't look nice on people's faces for the most part, like the sharp edges. Unless you're really going to embrace sharp edges, don't rely on them. I press Shift C right there, just so you know. And that's just the Convert Anchor Point tool. So that's what that was. Tempted to break this. Yeah, I'm going to break it. Why not? Just break it. All right, then I'll just grab this color right there. So there we go. Now it's going to look like she has a black eye or something. I'm pressing Control and the left bracket right there. But look, this is starting to turn into something. Right? Starting to be able to see it. We are getting there. And this is the process, people. This is going to take a while, you know. You just sit back, relax. You've been through it before in the last class. We're just kind of doing the same thing here. You're probably like, you probably have a lot of questions for me about, you know, what my next step is. I can't answer all those questions. I really can't. I can't answer them all. There is no perfect answer to how you go about doing this. This next shape, I'm just trying to grab a bigger, darker shadow that I'm recognizing here. You know, that's what I'm going after. So I'm just attacking this guy. I'm not sure if I'm going to like the way this looks or not. Cool thing is, it's not a huge investment of time. I can come back. I can change my mind if I want to. I might want to. Not 100% sure about this, but I want to see it. So I'm going to go grab a darker color here, even darker than the last one, like that. And again, Shift X, just taking a look. Just taking a look. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's looking pretty cool. Pretty cool. Shift X, you know, a bunch of switching. Now I definitely have a big old dark shadow over here. So I'm going to work my way down. Some of this I'm kind of working with my knowledge of anatomy a little bit less what I'm looking at. her temple right there. I kind of know what the shape of a temple is supposed to look like. And I'm just making sure it looks that way. Right here, I'm kind of trying to accentuate her cheekbone. Not sure if that's going to come off that way, though. I think I need to go down a little bit more. I'm going to go down and around. Yeah. Let's hit the jaw again. Let's just totally hit that jaw. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to scoop up and around. I'm actually pretty happy with this. So there's a little bit of me making stuff up here going on. And you might be like, well, why are you making stuff up? Because there's just some of that you got to do. There's just some of that you got to do, you know. There we go. And Shift X, switch. Again, I'm taking a look at this, figuring out if I like the way it's coming along. Wow, I really don't like that. It's not working for me. That shadow's not going to work. All right. So, and by the way, I also don't like this. I don't think I finished this. Look at that. That looks weird. Let me drag that out here. Cut that piece off. There we go. That looks more like it, doesn't it? All right. So I don't really have to finish this process for you to understand, you know, what's going on here. Like, you know what's going on here. You know that you've been down this road in the first class. But we've got everything set up. We're rocking and rolling. And the process is not going to be any different. I will tell you the truth, though, you know, because I was in a hurry. I probably, in reality, would have started. In fact, I would have probably done this. Maybe I'll just do it just for the heck of it. I'll do a rough version of it. Now, I'm never going to try to attempt to get all this detail right here. I'll probably find some backwards solution to try and figure that out. It won't look as good or as ornate as all this, but ain't nobody got time for that, right? And I'll switch this over to a darker color, a blue, right there. Sorry I said ain't nobody got time for that. I just thought that sounded cool. I think I'm the first person to ever say it. Yeah, I'm not. I know. I know you're listening to this video. You're like, shut up, Eugene. I don't blame you. I really should. But, you know, this is looking pretty good. Check this out. I'll end with this, and we'll add some more detail. I'll add some more detail later. But I'm going to spare you any more of this stuff, because you definitely are getting the basic idea. Maybe I'll continue working on it later. I don't know. But since I did cut this out, this guy there, I'll go into here. I'll copy this, Control C. All right. Get out of there. I'm in a isolation mode. Get back out of there. Lock this guy again. Go over here and then press Control F. And then I'll just fill that with a dark color, like a brown or whatever. There we go. So it looks like she's sitting on a chair. I'll send the chair to the back. And look at that. I'll turn this off. This being that layer beneath. Yeah. These little guys here, they're kind of in the way, aren't they? Sometimes what I do is I put them on another layer as well. So I think I'll do that right now. Just press Control X, cut them all out. Add a new layer and call this one my swatches. Right. I normally do this at the end though. Like I normally keep them with the artwork and then move them at the end. If I move them at all. I'm sure you have questions about like, why didn't you put the irises in and stuff like that, because we'll talk about that in the next video. Well, I hope you found this helpful. Take it easy.